We're on to the final segment on the program, and it's all about fashion. It's been quite a while since I've spoken fashion on the show, and I'm quite excited because usually I'll have the ladies come through to talk about fashion, but I'm really honored to have this gentleman here with me this morning, a young man who has a passion for fashion. Did that rhyme? Yes, it did. Passion for fashion, and it's all about Attitude by Jamal Alexis. So Jamal is here with me this morning, and he is joined by, can I say, one of his star models? Can I say that? Another Jamal. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome.
Good morning.
So finally you're here.
Yes.
This is really exciting stuff, Jamal, and I know this is probably really exciting for you. I think the first thing I really want to find out is, when did you discover you wanted to sew and design clothing?
Well, I would say when I got to secondary school at the Form 5 level. No, I always knew that I had this creative side to me, but you never thought of it in fashion. I sort of channeled it towards the food industry because I'm extremely artistic when it comes to food. Yes, I can also call myself a chef too.
Oh, nice.
So I channeled that creativity towards food and not fashion. But at that level, I had people who inspired me, like for example, Miss Costel Ross, who is doing her bachelor's of fashion design in Jamaica UTech now.
Excellent.
Miss Jamila Douglas, who was my former clothing teacher, who pushed me, propelled me forward, and she gave me the knowledge that yes, you have this spark in you. Use the talent, and that's what I sort of developed it and continued with that skill. And furthermore, my mother, she always wanted to sew, but she never got the opportunity. Yeah. So I guess all that came into me at the same time. So I used that opportunity to sew and then fashion, designing, art. So that's basically.
So when would you say Jamal's designs really became known to the public? Because I know you've showcased at two major events recently. One which was I Am Fashion 2, and then there was also a wedding event which took place. I didn't even realize you showcased at that, and I discovered that you did. Were those two events the major ones for you? First major shows?
The first major one would say the I Am Fashion 2 is where I got the platform foundation, where I was established as the designer of Attitude collection.
Right.
Now the second one is where I did the bridal collection. Because right now I'm doing brides, as dressing brides for their weddings and so on.
Very good.
I also showcased at IMA's Teen Top Model, where I did a tie-dye collection as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
nice.
those were the three major events that I did so far.
Now you design for both male and female.
Both male and
right?
female.
Now describe your sense of style. You know, every designer has their, where the energy comes from, and they put it out in their work. What would you say is your sense of style?
Well, my aesthetic as a designer, I would say my use of colors. I like colors. This is what makes a designer stand apart from the others. When you're able to use colors well and blend colors, your prints makes a difference. I like the prints to speak for itself. I like fitted and tailored, well-structured garments, basically.
Good. I like the name Attitude.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the selection of the name for your designs. Why Attitude? This is your logo and everything that goes with it. Very well done. Very, very pretty. Tell me about Attitude.
Attitude sort of depicts who I am as a person, not in a bad way, but it's my sense of style. When I dress, my walk, my speech, my hairstyles, my look, it depicts who I am as a person. And I always believe as a designer, your garments should reflect who you are. So that's why I came up with the name Attitude, the flair and the glitz and the glam. So Attitude came about.
Okay, so we're sharing some images with our viewers right now. Tell me a little bit about what's on the screen. We're gonna just go through a few.
Basically, what that's there, that's from the IMA Teen Top Model, where I showcased my tie-dye collection, my very first tie-dye collection.
Right.
Basically.
Good. Was this a challenge? Oh, I really love this. Tell me about this.
This dress was my signature piece. You know what? Every designer at the end of the collection, they do the traditional gong. I always wanted to do a gong. This was a bit challenging, but at the end, I conquered that challenge.
Yeah.
So this was one of my favorites in the dress day.
I Am Fashion event, right? Excellent. And this again, I assume is from the teen event?
Yeah, the Teen Top Model. I did both male and female.
Very nice. was tie-dyed, I think. Tell me about these two pieces right here.
Oh, well,
Jamal.
this was from the I Am Fashion where I started channeling my collection through a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the theme was a new beginning. So I started off with the black dress, so I decided that's night. But in the night, you can see the colors and the pride. So I used the peacock accessory to showcase my pride as a designer.
Right.
The accessory and the arms and so on. There's a little funk to funk it up a bit.
Right.
Fashion is about breaking the rules.
Oh, yes.
So,
oh, yes.
basically.
What's about this piece? This was at this is the same tie-dye
Tie-dye
collection,
collection. This was one of the favorites in the collection.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I see somebody very familiar.
Yes.
With their fierce look. You call that the fierce look, Jamal? And I'm speaking to the other Jamal now. The other Jamal, the model. Tell me a little bit about your experience. Since I have you here, you might as well tell me about your experience at the...
Well, the I Am Fashion event was basically my first big fashion show. I mean, I had a little, bar fashion show they had, but it was nothing big. I Am Fashion was basically, I got the feel of how a fashion show runs and what happens backstage and the feeling and the adrenaline going out on stage and so on.
Yeah.
It wasn't, after that, I never really did anything much. It was Teen Top model the same piece for him, and that was basically it. And now I'm just basically nothing really going on with the modeling.
But you love modeling, don't you?
Yes.
Because I understand you have an official Facebook page, don't you? How's that going?
Well, it's going okay. I mean, I try to get popularity, get greater.
Yes.
And it's kind of hard because most people don't really, greater. It's kind of back in time. And they're not really up to, Milan fashion, Paris fashion, and those sort of places.
Yeah. We have a lot of
so
work.
I'm just...
We got a lot of work to do before we get to those standards there, you know what I mean? But it's great that both of you have the passion and you're channeling, your passion through, events, your Facebook page, you participate in fashion events, that sort of thing. And I really want to commend both of you because there are lots of young people who have the talent who don't really take that step in making things happen.
Well, for last summer, I had an intern with Miss Claudia Pegas.
As a matter of fact, I saw that photo and I'm like, yes, I have to find out what's going on in this photo.
Yeah,
Tell me about
that. My teacher from Jamaica, Miss Costello, she did an intern with Claudia Pegas. And she showed her my collection and stuff and she was eager to meet me, to mentor me.
Right.
So she invited me for the summer to come up to do a little training with her, which was a wonderful experience. I learned a lot and I met people like Richard Young, Peter Elias, a number of other persons. I went to UTT School of Fashion. I did a mini course there, and so on. So it's a big experience.
Good.
Yeah.
Tell me some of the fundamentals that you've learned, because clearly you just design based on your raw and basic knowledge. So what is that? Okay, we've got to take a quick break. So when we come back, we're gonna jump back on that question. Folks, don't move a muscle. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Continuing to chat with local designer Jamal Alexis. Of course, he goes by the design name of Attitude by Jamal Alexis. Jamal, we were on something real hot just before we took the break, and I just wanted to find out from you what were some of the really fundamental lessons that you've learned attending you mentioned, was it a workshop?
Yeah.
In Trinidad.
Well, the workshop was basically was a mentor from Miss Claudia Pegas. She taught me how to tell a story through your collection, because when you're launching a collection, you have to tell a story.
Right.
There's a story behind every collection. How to lay out the collection and so on. The use of the colors and so how to dress the model properly, the hairstyle, what accessories, which is important in the garment to bring the beauty out to the garment. So the qualities of a designer, she sort of boost up, and there's the energy in terms of the confidence, what you should do to become a great designer. She shared her story with me and how she became a top designer because she was one of the first lady of fashion in the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
So that story was inspiring to me as a young designer. So it was a great experience, and I think it's one I would never forget.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Business. Let's talk about the business side of things. Clearly, when you showcase something, but when you showcase a collection, lots of folks, they're like, wow, I didn't know he Oh, I need to give him a call. So has there been any new business for you as a result of the events you showcased at?
Well, after the I Am Fashion show, well, I got a lot of Facebook requests, a lot of phone calls asking for the tie-dye pieces, the black dress with the peacock. Business has been really good in terms of, well, I'm a teacher by profession also.
Right.
So most teachers ask me to do like work uniforms and so on for them, specialized designs. I recently got a call to do a wedding dress, which I'm currently in the process of designing. A lot of work, but at the end, I will get there. So business has been really good. And so I'm dressing not brides only, but models for queen shows.
Good.
I've gotten calls for that thus far, so early in December, already for next year.
Good.
So I'm preparing myself for that.
Excellent. How's you just mentioned you're a school teacher, and I've completely forgot you're a teacher by profession first. What class do you teach? What sort of age group?
Well, I teach from 9 plus to 11 plus.
Right.
And I am one of the first male home economics teachers on the island. So I don't just I do general home ec.
Right.
We do foods, the home management, and the clothing aspect of as well, because we try to expose both male and female to technical subjects, technical drawing, woodwork, and the home ec department.
Excellent.
So I'm based at the home ec center in Grenville.
Yeah. And I just wanted to get a little feedback based on your students. Have your students seen your work, and what sort of reaction did they have?
Well, I would say for most of the students, they are very inspired, especially the boys. I would say for the boys, they're actually loving the area. So because they never really had like a male person to show them that they can embrace their inner talents and just come out into the fashion industry. Because we know that in the fashion industry you find most males hair, makeup, and because of the stereotype behavior that we have in the Caribbean setting, they're afraid. But me taking that bold step and showing them, yes, you can embrace your inner talent and do what you want to do. No, they actually love, and the feedback is great. They want to do this, they want to be designer, they want to be shoe designer, they want to be stylist, hair, makeup, everything.
Excellent.
So it's a good honor for me to be that person to show them that they can propel themselves forward, to move forward in life. Just embrace who you are, and you can do it.
That's right. I like the fact that you say embrace who you are. Now, I know you've met Claudia Pegas. I know you've met Richard Young, Peter Elias. Is there any designer, maybe apart from those that I just mentioned, that you would like to share the runway with? You would love your collection to be in the same show as...
Well, I cannot say one because there's a number of them.
I know.
But I would specifically like to share the catwalk with Anya Chi Young from Trinidad, former winner of Project Runway. Because we sort of have the same aesthetic and the same Caribbean vibe going.
Yeah.
I love her color scheme. The person like Dom, the winner of season 12, she's phenomenal. I love her. Another person is that Mr. Ken Lawrence. He didn't win, but his sense of structure and fit in his garments is just exquisite. And I would love to share the catwalk with these people. And what's the one from Barbados again? Andrew Harris. He recently launched at New York's Fashion Week and in Dominica. I would love to share the catwalk with these people because they are just phenomenal.
I know you're a huge Project Runway fan. You never miss an episode, do you?
Never. Never.
What was one of the best seasons? Clearly when Anya won.
Of course, because she was from the Caribbean. Season 12 was phenomenal because to see this first black woman, powerful, strong, and her story is just so inspiring. Season 12 was an amazing one too. Season 8, when Mondo, that HIV/AIDS patient, when he emerged on top from Project Runway 2, it was inspiring because he used his sickness to sort of propel him forward. And it clearly shows that you can do whatever you want to do despite who you are or whatever sickness you have. Don't let anything hold you back. Passion is what drives you, and you can do so. So that was an inspiring season and episode also for me. I usually have a habit of asking designers when they come on the show, who would you love to design something for? But I'm going to rephrase it a little. It's kind of like the same question, but I'm going to make it more direct in asking, if there was a model that you had to design something for, who would the model be? I wouldn't say a model per se, but I would love to design something for the ministers of government.
Oh.
Now, when you look at people like the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Kamala Persad-Bissessar, when you look at her dress, because she's dressed by Claudia Pegas, and I would love to be a personal stylist and designer for our female and male ministers of government in Grenada here.
Or even the Governor General.
Even the Governor General and the First Lady.
Good
Yes.
answer. Good answer. Never got that one before. Good answer. I know you design for male and female. If you had to give anyone, and you just mentioned personal stylist, if you had to give a tip to male and female of that one piece of garment that a man and a woman should always have in their closet, what would that be?
Well, as cliche as it may sound, I would say for the females, your little black dress.
Oh yeah, you can never go wrong with that.
You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can accessorize, you can do whatever you want with it. So you can have your little black dress in there, but make sure that little black dress depicts who you are as a person, because personal style is key. For the male, right now, I would say a blazer.
I was just supposed to say,
And this is one of my personal designs, sewn and constructed by me.
Very nice.
So you can have your blazer, you can dress it down, you can have it formal, semi-formal, casual, just do what you want with it.
Yeah.
So you can have a black, basically, in your closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we're running out of time. We're getting there slowly but surely. And I don't want Jamal to make me, I don't want the other Jamal, the model, feel in any way left out. So Jamal, tell me about, I know that tons of fashion weeks that takes place. Oh, that's another thing we could have spoken about. But let me just find out from Jamal, the model, first. Is there anywhere you'd love to model in a fashion week per se?
Well, I would say Paris Fashion Week.
Ooh, all the way. We go work on that for you.
Because
we have to work on
yes,
that.
because ever since I knew myself going to secondary school, I had a passion for French.
Yeah.
And still up to this day I have a passion for it. I never really furthered my education with French, but I still could I could still have a conversation with someone from Paris,
Say something in
Guadeloupe.
French for me.
Huh?
Say something in French for me. So while you're thinking about that, because we're practically out of time, where would you love to showcase in the Caribbean? Let's say a fashion
In the Caribbean, well, I got an invite to showcase at Guyana's Fashion Week this year, but apparently due to school, I wasn't too sure what I went to was, so I didn't take the opportunity.
Yes.
But hopefully next year, as I am planning and hope that I get a scholarship to go to study at UTT School of Fashion. So if I get an opportunity, I would love to showcase at Tobago Fashion Week first, and then at Guyana's Fashion Week.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Keep reaching for the stars, and I love the blazer. And I'm still waiting for that French, Let me hear you. Let me hear before we go.
Je m'appelle Jamal Alexander, j'ai 17 ans. J'aime l'amour vraiment.
Oh, and what did you just say?
My name is Jamal Alexander. I'm 18 years old, and I love fashion.
All right, we got a little French here. Nice. Well, all the best again. It was great having both of you on the show. All right, folks, this is it. This is it. We're out of time. I want to say a special thank you to all the folks for stopping by. Have a good one. Bye-bye.